Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today is something well and truly new for me. Now, these are the Katy Sue designs. Now, I have only just discovered these, and I have been enjoying them, to say the least. Now, just to say outright, I don't know these people. I don't have anything to do with them. I've never been in contact with them. I don't know, anything about who they are, except for I was on scrapbook.com and came across these gorgeous designs for sort of more ready-made cards. So I grabbed a good handful of them and we are going to create some together. There is also some card making kits which I really wanted to try too, so I grabbed a couple of those and I want to share with you, show you what I've created and another different option for card making. So the first one was the Wren in May Blossom. This one is the Daffodil, Tulip and Poppy Bouquet. And I'm going to show you some things with these, of course. Now these all layer up. They're sort of decoupage pop-out sheets, if you like. This one is called Cricket, and look at all the pieces that layer up together to create these images. Now this one here is going to be called the Motorbike and Tools, and part of the reason why I like these is because I do find it a little bit challenging to make some guys cards, as most people do, and there are just some stunning options for quick, easy cards to put together so that we don't have to invest in entire stamp sets, entire die sets, and sort of go searching. So yeah, something new for me to try, and I was really excited to try these out for myself and let you know what I think. This one here is called Spitfires, and then I also have a couple of the card making kits that I was telling you about. So I have one on the right is called Garden Gnomes, and then I have the other one called Wonderful Wellington Boots, and these are gorgeous. Now this gnome one makes 12 whole cards, and then the boots one makes 8 separate cards. So I thought that was a good amount for the cost of the kit. It comes with envelopes, it comes with foam pads, all the foam pads you need. Now I will admit, my kids took off with all of these before I even got to any filming, but that's okay. I have the remnants of them here, of some of them, and we can make do. We have some spares. So I'm going to quickly show you how to put some of these together. There are lots of different varieties out there. Let me tell you, there are so many different kinds. All of these come with envelopes, the appropriate size. Some of them come with squares or rectangles, whatever we need. There are so many sheets. Now in this Wonderful Wellington Boots, you are actually going to get 8 of these boot cards. You kind of just, fold over, and then that's your card base. And then even these gorgeous images down there could be fussy cut out. I think that's just an extra though. You get 2 full sheets of these gorgeous flowers and bouquets and birds and lots of little things that you can add on. These are all very obvious which ones go together. Some of them are numbered to help you out. You could add in extra options if you wanted to. There's also extra sentiments down the bottom to pop out, and those gorgeous little birds I was showing you. Now, as I said, these are the ones that come with. They come with large ones and small foam squares or rectangles. But for this, I'm pretty much going to use my own foam tape because, as I said, the kids got off of this and added it to their own card making stash before I even got to filming. So I'm going to pop some foam tape on the back here, and this is to give dimension to the card base, so to speak. Now I picked this card making kit. As I said, there are heaps of different ones out there, but this one I quite liked because it was a different shape and it had sort of a different feel to it rather than a traditional sort of card. So you can see a gorgeous bit of dimension. Now there is a slot in the top that this goes through. You can I'm pulling it apart, but you can see it really obviously there. It fits nicely, and we're going to make the bouquet of flowers fit on top of there. Now, when it comes to putting these together, I was looking at the images on the front for some inspiration. I chose to copy what was on there, but you could definitely do your own type. But it does sort of seem that there are like pinks for the pink. I call these gumboots. Here in New Zealand, we call these gumboots or wellies. But yeah, Wellington boots, gumboots. You can see the pink flowers match with the pink, and the reds can match with the red. But no reason why you can't just change it up. There are so many options. There are plenty of options in this card kit that you can mix and match, honestly. And a few things that surprised me about these whilst I'm putting together these flowers. So, number one, there are no white borders in any of these. So, even in the smaller packs, even in the card making kits, there are no white borders on any of these. And that was so important to me because, yeah, this is just the look that I prefer personally. It's really obvious. Number two, it's really obvious where everything goes. It's sort of not tricky to figure it out. I am not a big fan of having to really figure out measurements and having to really work to put things together. Everything is very obvious in these card making kits, and I quite like that. Very, very quick. A little bit unique, which I like. I like the different shapes, and I chose a couple of card kits that are specifically different shapes because I would probably need dies to create something similar, and it's really nice to be able to grab a card kit, create all of the cards out of it, and, not have to invest in the stamps and dies, which would cost, 3 times, if not more, than what this card kit costs. So, yeah, I really like a few different factors about this. I like that when you pop them out of their sheets, they don't have the little tabs still left on. I didn't feel like I needed to do lots of little cutting and fussy cutting to make it all neat around the edges. It popped out beautifully, which I appreciate, and it was just really clear and easy on what to do. They've thought of a lot of good things with these. As I said, I don't know this company. I'm not affiliated with them at all. And so I just came across their products. And yeah, as I said, I, on my channel, like to do a whole range of different card making things. Sometimes I like to go really complicated and make my own colored cardstock and do all those things right from scratch. And other times, I really just have the time or feel like doing something a little more, pre-made, and that's about assembling all of these gorgeous cards. So I couldn't help myself but do another one quickly, so I chose these gorgeous, beautiful pink gumboots, and as I said, everything pops together really nicely and easily. It's really obvious, and it does come with all the things you need, the foam kit, so there's no scissors required at all. Foam tape is really all you need, and bending some bits and pieces, but the score lines are all there, so you don't need anything else. And I was impressed that, everything is kind of sorted and thought about here. So I really like that. Now, I prefer to put this little slot here in, and I put some foam tape up the top. I prefer to put the bunch of flowers on when it's sitting there, just so I know how it's going to sit over top of the gumboots. I want it to sort of sit nicely there. So there's a couple of different places that you could write in these. You could also add a gift card instead on that top bit. So I quite like that idea. These stand beautifully, which was something else I was thinking about. All good things. So I also want to quickly run you through the gnome kit that I got as well. Now, this is a pretty epic kit. This makes 12 cards. You'll get 12 die-cut pop-up cards for all of these gnomes. And this one comes with all of the square envelopes and the foam dots that you saw. And then you get these sheets, right? I'm just showing you what you get, but you actually get several of different designs of each of these. And so you are going to get, it's really obvious that you need to pull out a little gnome. He's going to be, and it's sort of all down the bottom there, and then that one up the top, that's all you would see, that you would pull out all of those, and they're all going to layer up. They even have the numbers there so that you can see all of these are going to layer together. Then you need to get a base, and then there are 2 of the little pop-up bits that you need to get out, and then there is also an extra little piece there, and I'll show you what that's for soon. So there's one of these. I ended up not using these in my cards, so this is one that I had from before. And I have several thoughts about these cards too. First of all, I love that it's really obvious how it all goes together. It's not rocket science really. It's just popping the foam tape on and popping them all together. The details are gorgeous. The little flower is popped up. Even the little ticket, the little sentiment on his hat. Gorgeous little elements there. It's a little bit hard to show you guys on camera. You can sort of see there all of the different layered elements. Now, of course, if you want to, you could also add a second layer of foam and make it very dimensional. On their YouTube page, they also have very clear, quick instructions. They have videos of, around 1 minute long, where it shows you how to put all the different card kits together. So that is also really helpful if you're not sure how they go together. Out of these 2 pieces, you'll notice that one is bigger and one is smaller, and the bigger one is going to go next to the back there, and you just fold it all round so it creates this easy little fold out part, this pop out part for the start. And then of course everything folds completely flat for your cards. So this piece here is where your main Mr. Gnome is going to go. And there are lots of different gorgeous gnomes. There are some with wheelbarrows, some with parties, some with, different backgrounds, all the different backgrounds that you can choose as well. I chose to use some liquid glue, but you could just as easily use a glue roller or some dry adhesive. It's going to work perfectly too. Something nice and strong though. Now when I put the second one on for the front here, this is the slightly shorter one. This is where that extra little piece can go. And this is just so that you can sort of attach floating elements to it. You'll see in one of the sheets there are so many extra little bits and pieces that you could add along. So you would add in that extra piece now if you wanted to. I'm going to skip it and just add the sentiment on the front, which says happy birthday. I also like that there is a huge range of sentiments. So there's not just birthdays, it covers everything, and there is more sentiments than what you will need, so you're able to, really have a decent amount of choice. So this would have gone in between those two layers, and you can see it's got 3 little tabs up the top, and that is for attaching like floating flowers or floating birds or floating, bumblebees in this case, or butterflies, whatever you may like. And as I said, there is heaps and heaps of choice. I'm actually going to pull in another sheet of gnomes and get the little white sort of daisy looking flowers ish, and I'm going to pop a couple of these just on the side. So you would have put them like that, but actually I'm just going to attach them to the front, and I'm happy with that as is. And then that is this card all complete. Really easy and simple to put together. Now, a couple of things that I really liked about this was that I loved the simplicity of creating quite a complex pop-up card, if that makes sense. The measurements for this alone would be tricky to do if you didn't have a die set, and it is much cheaper than buying a die set, and so I was able to really enjoy that factor. I didn't have to do any colouring, any colour coordinations, all those things. These fold down flat, and most importantly, I would say that I was able to do these with my kids, and they really enjoyed them. It was simple, it was easy, it was easy for their little young fingers to do as well. And so I will say, if you have like some children or a group coming together, then this is a really nice activity because there's no prep, nothing you need to do, nothing you need to bring along, and creates really cool cards. So you can either write on the back if you want to. You can see that these ones come with square envelopes, and they fit down nice and flat, and they're going to fold into there beautifully. And I was thinking about whether they would pop up after being flat in your envelope. So I was just thinking about that here. It is pretty thin. I mean, there's a little bit of bulk because there is a few layers of good weight cardstock, but actually these popped up pretty good afterward. Not too bad. And I think the recipient who is going to open this will also, play with it a little bit because they're a bit irresistible. Now, on to the flat sheets of these. So for just a few US dollars, these are what we get. And there are 3 sheets in each design. And this one here, these are all numbered. So this is the Wren in May Blossom sheet. And I wanted to quickly show you what I've done here. So you can see what layers up all together. You get 3 of these sheets. So you have plenty of opportunities to, make lots and lots of cards out of this. For the price point, this is really good value, and I had so much fun creating with these ones. Now, this is the first card I made, and all I did here was I cut out this main big image, and I actually cut it out using the motor scrap rectangles just to give a little bit of detailed edge. And then I layered up some of the branches and some of the foliage, and then the little birdie, you can see that there is like the big body of the bird, and then there's the smaller body of the bird, and then the wing of the bird, and then you just sort of lay them all up together. It's a little bit hard to capture. There's some photos at the end that do it a little bit better. And then of course a sentiment, everything's included. There's actually also blank sentiments in there, blank things that you can see that you could stamp your own sentiment on if you had a good one for the birdies. Now the squares all down the bottom, I made another card using this one as well. These two card bases are actually pre-folded ones. This one is the fog one and the other one is the sea glass one from Simon Says Stamp. I'll link those down below. But you can see the gorgeous different layers here, and then I took this long strip and added those 4 birds, and then I also took that main sentiment as well and added that in, and then a couple of the tiny wee flowers here just for extra. And then I wanted a matting layer as well. So I just took a quick look at my oxides, bearing in mind I do not have anywhere near the full collection of oxides, and the closest I had was the Rustic Wilderness, which actually was perfect. And so I could add a matting layer in there too. Now that was so super simple. The birds obviously were really simple to layer up together, and some gorgeous layering. And as I said, everything comes out really nice and cleanly from the sheets. This is one of the 3 sheets that I used to create 2 cards, and I still have leftovers, and this is what I have been doing with my sheets. My kids and I have had a really good play with all of these, and I have been just popping them in these little glassine bags that a gorgeous subscriber sent me. So these, because I don't want to keep that whole sheet, it feels like, you know, too much to just keep for what's in it. But I am just going to pull out all of the elements, and as I said, there are no white borders on these, so you could use these in any card making. It doesn't have to be with this set. You could use these we all know that gorgeous little foliage can go almost anywhere. So I just get all those little bits together, keep them all together, so that I don't have to have the entire sheet. But this was a really cool product. I must admit, I was impressed. I was a little bit skeptical. I wasn't sure how they would go for the price point. I definitely think it's worth it. I love that they have no border. I love that they come out cleanly. I love that there is so many sheets that come with these. And yeah, just really fun designs. I really love that I got some more some more male sort of focused ones. And that's going to make a few quick, easy cards to put together just when I feel like I need it. Anywho, I will link these all down below. I'll try and link these ones here on the video that I've showed, but there are so many more to check out as well. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.